What's up, Shining Otaku? It's Cloud9
And
and today this is Shining Spotlight, the stream where we highlight creatives in the industry in order to inspire you guys. Today we have a man with an amazing hand of craftsmanship. He has created several props of armored cosplays. He has also competed in cosplay contests like LTU Expo, Motor City Comic Con, and even YomaCon, even gaining recognition from the official Halo page. Today we have and we welcome Jarvis of Exuberant Cosplay, everyone.
welcome,
Hey
Jarvis. Welcome.
everyone.
Oh man.
I gotta take off my helmet.
I'm excited to have you on today, man, because I'm gonna tell you the truth, man. Every time I seen your cosplay, I remember seeing you at actually one time at Michigan Comic Con when they had Michigan Comic Con, and I'm just seeing like this big armored set walking around, and I'm like, dang, that's super badass, you know? I mean, seriously, like every cosplay I've seen you wear, you know, it looks like when you're looking at it from a distance or even close, it looks like a legit like armor. Like, how long have you been like doing this for?
I've been making costumes since like I was in 2017 when I went to Schoolcraft College. Actually, like cosplay was really not the first thing that came up to my mind. Originally, I was just like a plain, like artist and like draw some stuff, do some like logos, like graphic design, and not a single like cosplay, like not even a word of that just like came into my mind. And one of my friends introduced me to it from the word cosplay, and I thought that it was something that is just something based off of anime, or people want to just role play into like anime. I thought it was just something only for that, and I was like, what, I don't think that's my cup of tea. I don't know about that. And until I started looking up some music videos, and I see some really, really cool armor that's like based off of video games and all that stuff. And I was just like, how do these people do that? I mean, are you kidding me? Like they look like real armor, like they look like metal, and it's just like a really big illusion. And I went up to some in person with like their armor and all that stuff, and it was crazy. It was crazy, and I thought it was just real until I started feeling it, and it was actually made out of foam, just straight up. So, yeah, first time doing cosplay in general, back in 2017. I started with the armor called the Lagiacris. That's from the video game Monster Hunter. It is the very first armor costume I made. It was actually like it was actually like a voting poll between the Monster Hunter armor, Halo armor, or some other armors that people suggested, and some people wanted to do Monster Hunter instead. So I suggested two armor, which is either Lagiacris or Baroth. And yeah, I was looking at Baroth. Baroth was pretty intimidating looking. I'm not gonna lie, especially with like different types of bone structures and everything. I was just like, yeah, I don't think this is gonna work. So, I mean, people suggested me to go for Lagiacris instead. So I started with Lagiacris, and it took me by surprise that first time making a helmet, that's like, it was hard. It was pretty hard because I don't have like the proper budget of like how am I try to create like my own facial structure and everything out of clay, and I'm not a clay model, unfortunately. And I don't have the money for anybody else to like pay for it for me. So what I did was I just go on Amazon and order a mannequin head.
So
that's all that is. And first time doing a helmet, pretty much what I did is that when I start off with the helmet, the first thing I could come up with is that if you're able to do the helmet, you should be able to do everything else. And I was able to do the helmet for like the first time ever, and it came out pretty bad.
Like how
It came
so?
out
Like
so
what do you mean? Like it came out bad? Like I mean, because I'm seeing everything you've been doing. I'm thinking bad for you is
yeah,
probably
yeah,
different for than another person's bad. Like,
yeah. So yeah, I'm trying to break them down, and basically, um, the way it came out, my brother actually came out to me saying that the helmet looked too much like Dark Souls, and I was like, "Wait, it looks like Dark Souls? Like, what are you talking about?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's just like, the jaw that's coming out, and like there's like, of course, there's like no other stuff, but it's just like the jaw and the helmet and everything." And I noticed that the jaw of like the helmet is shape of a square. It's something that is like really off of it. I just don't like it, so I had to start all the way over, unfortunately.
Nice.
And when I did that, I went back to working on that jawline and everything, and I noticed that I wasn't using enough geometry of like how where the angle is coming out or like where the perspective is coming out. And that's pretty much all I did. And, I tried to retrace it again and it came out really nice. So it looks like an actual like long chin. So
Okay.
yeah. And after that, I, did everything else. I did the spikes. I did like the back neck collar. And yeah, the helmet was like the first thing I did. And I wore that and it felt very satisfying.
do you happen to have
So
that with you right now? Like on you or?
I don't have it. Well, I have it in a different place. I could have brought it with me. I
Oh,
apologize.
no, that's fine.
That was just like the helmet.
Very nice.
People want to see it on stream, and then I just show it on stream. Why not?
So
And
actually, the one that you have on stream, which one is that? Like,
that's this is Dead Space right here.
okay, yes, I know. Dead Space is definitely one that I've seen you do a lot of cosplay of. You've done
Mhm.
a lot of Halo.
I mean,
And then, of
I
course, when you
kind
mentioned Monster Hunter, I mean, I like Monster Hunter a lot. Although
Mhm.
I haven't played all the Monster Hunter games, nor have I. Funny enough, I haven't beaten Monster Hunter World, but I blame my computer for that. Um, so, do you have like what's your next cosplay you plan on tackling? Do you have one that you're working on right now, or?
actually before you go on that, I'm gonna throw up the little example here. That's like all three of them, right?
Yep.
That far up one, I didn't realize it at first, but I'm like, that's Barrett.
Yeah. So these are just like the only three cosplays I've done so far. This next one, which is Dead Space, that's already done, and it's going to be uploaded tomorrow. It's going to show everything about the costume and some of the breakdowns, and there'll be some time lapse around it too. And yeah, I made a teaser off of it a week ago. I told people that this will be revealed tomorrow, and I'm really excited to show this off. My photographer, she did some really good photo shoots, and I can't wait to show them. I gotta promote her for that. So yeah, but yeah, I'm really excited.
So how
Yeah.
long does it take to like design some of these outfits? Like for example, like the Dead Space one Mike that you were just showing us. How long did it take to design that?
So the Dead Space outfit, this only took me about 2 months. If you want to give like an actual like real time estimate, I had to go through a really bad and like really extreme burnout the last couple of months. Uh, when I was done with my Helios Scroll armor, which that's the Halo armor, I just
Mhm.
it's the last costume I did. And after I was done with that, I all of a sudden went through a really bad burnout to the point that I felt like I didn't want to do cosplay anymore, which it was really really bad.
Oh wow.
But yeah, so yeah, Dead Space only took me about 2 months to make. It's probably one of the easiest costume I've ever made. Um, the only hard part about it is the LEDs. So because that was like my
Really?
first time doing it. So
So do you have to
yeah,
ever worry about with like having stuff like that inside the cosplay, like it catching fire or anything like that? Like, do you have to be concerned about that, or because I think I'd
as
be
in,
worried about that.
yeah. I know what you mean. Like the some hazardous that's going on with the costume. I know what you mean. But yeah, I'm aware of what's going on. I actually did check up like some instructions and like some warning hazardous behind the LED stuff that's on this helmet. And I don't. I mean, I can turn this off real quick. This actually has like a seal, but you can actually see inside the helmet if you can. But yeah, it has like a sealer basically. So basically, it won't ignite or anything. It's just all in like a plastic area.
Yeah,
so
we can see you a lot better now.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You can see the glare, like the shine and everything. Yeah, that's the plastic.
Okay.
And yeah, it won't ignite or anything, so it should be fine.
Nice. See, okay. One thing about like designing these props and stuff, I feel like knowing the materials, or if you're somebody who doesn't like for example, you were just saying how you, of course, that you were already like an artist before actually designing these costumes. So I'm assuming this actually like has helped you be able to create these costumes. But if you're someone like who doesn't have like an artist hand, I would say, or like a hand that's already used to like crafting things. I mean, where would you even begin in terms of like, if let's say you're someone who wants to get a prop design? I mean, I've even seen you do like, what was it, Cloud Sword, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm thinking like, geez, like you had like the whole.
Yep, that's the Cloud Sword.
Yeah, and it looks legit. So like, how would someone? Because I'm sure there's people out there who are interested in like being able to design their own props rather than just buying them. Like, how can they even get started on doing something like that and actually have it done well?
So the toughest part about getting started on an armor cosplayer, as armor cosplay, I meant, is by planning your budget wisely. And what I mean is that you're going to be buying a lot of materials that you need just to make this one particular prop or the costume itself. And by doing that, you have to like make to-do lists and all that stuff, and make sure like which one you need and which one should be appropriate to use and all that stuff. And probably the most budgeting thing that you're going to be buying is foam. Basically just like EVA foam. You're going to be buying a lot of those regardless. And you're probably going to be buying a lot of knives too. So I noticed that because like every time I use my knife on the foam, it becomes dull for like at least like a minute, and you got to keep on sharpening almost all the time, and eventually you just got to get a knife.
I wasn't expecting that.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, from starting everything off, you first gotta know what you want to start off first. If I were you, or if I were anybody, I would start off something that's really easy. Do not be like me that start off Gladiator's armor, because I was done for that, and I thought I wasn't going to make it, and I thought like people would like not take it as serious as it is. But yeah, don't start off with a really big armor just yet. I prefer you to start off something really basic, like just some shoulder pads, like Cloud's weapon and all that stuff. That's something basic that you can just do. And once you do that, you just create like a planning list or like a to-do list, and try to use some different types of techniques behind foam and everything, or cutting foam. And mostly, since like I'm an artist myself, I just draw most of my templates. I don't use like any technology or anything that can benefit me to create some sort of armor and all that stuff. But yeah, everything I just drew all by hand. Yeah, so start off small. Don't start off anything big. It's probably the best idea and the best thing you can actually do.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of, I'm not gonna lie, like, see, I've never actually personally cosplayed before. Well, I've kind of have, but not really. I don't really count it. Like me throwing on like a headband or something isn't like me really like doing the full works, like like what you're doing. But like, I always wanted to do something like I always say Scar from Full Metal. But I want to do it like legit. Like I want to like try to bulk up to do it. But in any case, how do you feel about like cosplay contests? Like, what do you feel as though? What kind of skills do you feel like someone would need to possess to be able to win a competition? Because you've won competition before.
Yeah, so the number one thing about going into a competition is by being extremely confident with your armor and everything, or with your costume. Uh, don't feel down if you can't win, or you feel like you're not going to make it, or somebody might be competing over with you. Really though, being in a cosplay contest is just walking on stage and show your armor out and just have fun. It's like probably the best feeling, because you may not know, people might cheer for you, or maybe they might not cheer for you. But really though, it's just walking on stage and just showing off your stuff. And yeah, so like in a cosplay contest, when I first enter it, I'm going to be honest here. And when I was entering the Laggy Chris armor, I was kind of irritated when I didn't receive anything, not even honorable mention or anything. I was kind of mad, even though it's my first time doing it. But it's for the start, and the point is that if you lose, try to get better, try to improve a little bit more, and you might win some other competition instead of just that one. So it's more of just like keeping going and with your stuff and just trying to improve more. But yeah,
You were actually supposed to be at like around this time of year originally, Anime Central, right?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm like, it's crazy. Like, like just thinking like right now, like you were supposed to, or I don't know if it was supposed to be this week, but like I think around in this month, Anime Central was supposed to happen. You're supposed to, like, how do you feel as though, when you look at like, how do you like prepare for a competition? Because that's the thing, like with someone who doesn't cosplay, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you think about a lot of it, like with video games, right? You can kind of size up your competition and see, okay, this is what I'm gonna have to bring to the table. Is it the same thing like that for cosplay, where you're like, okay, I know who's going to participate in this contest, or is it just kind of like you're just winging it every time? Like, let me just make something well crafted and go, or is it like, okay, I know this person's going to compete, this person's going to compete, this person's going to compete. Okay, I know I need to bring this, and this.
You know what? I think I might know what you're talking about. As far as like one of my cosplay friends that wants to compete, or that I know that who's going to compete, I would compete with them. I would, because they're there for you as the same thing as you're there for them. And the one way to just get prepared into a cosplay competition is just by, like you said, winging it. That's all that is. Like, just go in there and be on stage, walk on stage, and then just walk right out. That's all that is. And really, pretty much just wait for the result. You may not know you might win. You may not know you might not. But if you don't win, you just got to improve more. That's all that is. But not like, of course, in a bad way. It's more of just like a learning experience, where you're more of like you're more just into like an observation than to try to just compete with other people. Because if you're observing other people's armor, maybe you can just, talk to that person, or just like ask them, hey, how do you win in your competition or everything? Like, what's your technique? And, see if I can use one of those techniques just to benefit myself, something like that. And that goes towards most of my cosplay friends I meet up with. And, I met up with this guy named Savan. He does the Linda costume from Halo 5. And he also did the, what's that called? Holly Tanaka, I think that's what it is. But yeah, he's a really big guy. And I talked to him, talked about his techniques, how he do it, and all that stuff. And it's just inspiring. It motivates me to keep going, and it just makes me want to make more armor cosplay just because of what he did. So yeah.
So who actually are your, like, if you had to pick like maybe like 3 influences, who are your 3 like cosplay influences?
My three cosplay influence. Well, number one is Kamui Cosplay. So she's like my number one because she's actually the first person I watch, especially with like her tutorials and everything. Actually, she helped me with the LEDs too. So,
Nice.
but my second influence is Evil Ted. Evil Ted. It's recommended to anybody that they want to make helmets for themselves. Uh, Definitely check him out. Really cool guy. He's an awesome guy. I've been following him ever since I started costume. So yeah, the third influence. I don't know exactly what my third influence is. I'm just gonna have to put published props, but I don't really watch them that much. But they do give up really good tutorials as well. But yeah, I recommend those three, especially Evil Ted. If you guys want to start off with the helmet first, I would choose him. I would choose him because he will break everything down, and you guys can probably love his content. Although it's kind of slow, but you'll love his content. I promise.
Nice.
Okay.
You know, the thing is with cosplay, like I can always appreciate like whenever you like we talk about the videos, right? Like when you have those music videos, because I feel like sometimes it kind of without cosplay within the within I guess you could say the comic and the anime community, right? It's
Mm,
like kind of like the face of it in the sense that that's what people see when you go to a convention, when you see people walking around, and the outfits and it's all about, of course, having that fun. But do you have any like rivalries like within cosplay? Like, are there any people that you're like this is my rival. This is the person I want to surpass, or you guys kind of go back and forth and inspire each other to improve.
mm. I do have a rival. I
Oh,
do. I
let's
have a
hear it.
rival.
Okay.
Yeah, her name is Lexi Cosplay. Um,
See,
Actually,
cosplay.
I wish I had like a picture. I could definitely show it to you guys. But um, yeah, she's been my rival ever since I started my first costume, and seeing her in person, and everything. She did the World of Warcraft outfit. I think it was that night.
You said
He had
Lexi cosplay?
the World of Warcraft cosplay.
Okay, no, I'm saying you said
Yes.
Lexi cosplay is a cosplay, right? I
Yes,
haven't heard of her,
yeah,
Yeah.
but
mhm,
okay.
yeah. Yeah, she did that World of Warcraft cosplay and made out LEDs, of course, and all that stuff. And she inspired me as well, and I chose her as my rival because I every time she competes, I compete. So we always like just come together, and we're trying to make sure which one of us is just going to beat each other, and if one of us win, we win. We both actually lost in our last contest in 2019, um, which that kind of sucks, but it is what it is. But I remember last time I won with the Baroth costume with Judge's Choice Award in Youmacon, and Lexi didn't win anything, unfortunately. And my first costume, I didn't win anything, but Lexi won something. So
Mm.
Nice
but
back
yeah,
and forth.
kind of back to back, and then we just didn't win anything last year. So that's exactly what happened.
So do you feel like this even though I know this is like this whole thing with the virus this year, right? Like COVID-19, I've been asking everyone this, I know obviously it's created a disturbance to our lives and whatnot. It's been said a million times on the news, but do you feel as though you as a prop designer, this has given you any time to like just go straight like samurai sword welder mode, or you get what I'm trying to mean? Like trying to yeah, like like you're like let me shut myself in the shed and like just go nuts. Like, do you feel like it's had any like positive effects like that for you, or do you feel as though it's really going to bring the heat for next year into the game?
I will say this: it is therapeutic. Something that is very relaxing. Because that's all I do is just that I just create a lot of stuff, and I just start doing some experiment and everything. I actually have good free time zones for myself just to figure out like, what different types of technique I can try and use and might benefit for me in the future and all that stuff. And I've actually been doing that. Um, Another thing is that like, during this whole COVID-19, I'm a student in like in a private school, private college school, and that's what it is. And I still have to do my schoolwork and everything. And I've been trying to go back and forth, but realized I was stressing out and I couldn't do it anymore. So I took like 3 weeks off from my page, my cosplay page and everything, and came right back like a blast when I was done with school. So yeah, during this quarantine, yeah, pretty much I've just been making a lot of stuff and try to like figure out what my different techniques are, and yeah, and just relaxing for me, and I love doing it. So
So actually, what are you actually going to school for?
I'm going to school for entertainment arts, 3D animation. It's mainly because I want to do 3D animation, and I also want to do prop design. I want to learn a little bit more about 3D, and once I do that, I'll be able to make my own props and design my own stuff, instead of using like other games and try to use theirs and design my own stuff. But yeah, I really want to make my own weapons, like create my own, armor, my own costume and everything, just by making some 3D models. So yeah.
So are you looking for this to be something that like can translate into like film, or like are you wanting to, like you know what I mean, like in film, like create like different props or like the costume designs for like characters, or is this something where you just want to keep it contained within cosplay itself, like you just want to design original outfits for yourself?
Yeah, so that's another way to say this. Yes, I do want to. I'm actually planning on going to like a company or probably be an entrepreneur, just like do my stuff and or freelance wherever. Definitely floats my boat. But yeah, I usually just like design my stuff and then try to port it to one of the companies that might want to use it for like either their video games or like their animation they put on movies and everything. And yeah, I was thinking that would be kind of great. Nothing else really to go about like what I didn't benefit for, just like 3D art and everything. So yeah.
So if someone asked you to assist with making a new Halo game, right, and wanted you to design an outfit, I mean, clearly they got their eye on you for seeing your cosplay design, right? So it's like if it got to the point where you were asked to come onto a project, what would you do with that?
Mm. Mm. It depends what type of project they want me to do. Even though like they assign me to do it, it has to go by satisfaction. If they really liked this type of design I make, 9 times out of 10, and they probably might tell me to start over, or like try to like make like 7 to like 10 different types of concepts of like what design they really like. And if they choose one of those designs and they satisfied with it, that's really all that matters. And they might use that design. You know what? I might use that design too to make my costume too if they like it, and that would actually be kind of awesome, to be honest. So yeah, it's kind of tough to see if one of the company might like it or might use it for like their games or like their movies and everything. Yeah, but that's all it is. Yeah, it's just like I just want to make my own design, and if they assign me for it, I'll do that and then try to give it to them and see what they like about it.
Nice. Yeah, One thing that's interesting about when I think about like films, of course, I feel like nowadays you don't have sometimes. I mean, it's starting to come back a little bit of, but like you don't have enough like practical effects, if you know what I mean. Like in a lot of like films, and if you look back at like films like back in like let's say for example like the 80s, right? You had a lot more practical effects. It made things look a lot more scary, with a lot of the designs with the costumes or whatnot. What edge do you feel like you would be able to provide with your own original creations? Like, do you have like a certain way that you plan on changing the game in terms of prop design or creating your own props?
If it has something to do with real flesh, I don't know about that, but I know what you mean. If my type of category, like my genre, will change instead of just doing sci-fi or like something medieval all the time. If they put me to like something horrific, I'm gonna have to learn a little bit more about that, especially when people are using silicon type material just to create like really cool like flesh type of suit or something like that, and that's something that is not at my level just yet. So I'm still working on like how to go from bottom to top. I'm still like at the middle. I'm not like at the master category at that moment. But once I learn how to create like silicone skins or some really cool like muscle armor or something like that. I noticed that people actually use like memory foam to create like muscles or something like that, and it was really cool. It was really cool, and
I feel like
they
I
actually
probably
have
need
like
that.
templates from that. And I see one of my friend that did the what's that costume called? It was the I'm trying to remember. It was a Marvel character, but it got featured and everything. It was
Are you,
all over on the internet.
like
And
Drax or
no, it was dang. He got ported in a new Mortal Kombat game. I forgot what his name was.
come on,
Wow.
Nico? I know you know Mortal Kombat better than I do.
Yeah.
I got one, man. I haven't
But,
played that game.
Spawn. There we
Come
go.
on.
Okay, yeah.
All right, I should have known that. I should have known. I literally just watched another YouTube play that. Dude.
I know Spawn. I promise. I actually watch most of the shows and the movies, so it's just like I don't know why I got a brain for it somehow. So, but yeah, this guy actually did like memory foam, and he put it inside a suit, so it actually looked like he's all muscled, and he's just like a skinny guy. He's like all skinny, and all he did was he just put like templates of like different types of memory foam muscle, and he just looked bulky as heck. So yeah, but yeah, it's not at my level just yet to create something that's like horrific at the moment. That will be later in the future. I can't promise that because I mean, you guys seen my work. I always make armor and all that stuff. So
Well, no,
I
that's
can't
fine.
really that, so.
But I guess that's kind of where was had not necessarily saying something different, but like even with the work that you have worked on, right? Like more being more science fiction or medieval. In what way do you feel like you're gonna evolve that to the point where people are gonna be like, oh, you want to get that prop design done, you better go to Exuberant Cosplay. Which obviously we can already see your work. We see that example right there of how great your craftsmanship is. But do you have a what does the next level look like for you? I guess is what I'm asking.
Before you answer that,
so the next
before you answer that, just to make it a bit of a teaser here, we did get a couple comments through the course of the stream. Chris Callan mentioned Dead Space for the win.
Thank you, Chris Callan.
I don't know if any Gundam fans out there, but he also mentioned open access mid-June. Then, Roselle Higashi, she said, how old were you when you decided you wanted to work in film?
When I want to work in film? I haven't worked anything in film, actually. If I be real right now, it wasn't really a film, but it was more of a YouTube video or a machinima I've done. That's like when I was in high school. I did a Halo machinima on YouTube a long time ago, and it was all right. Storyline was good. It's just the only bad part is the voice. The voice is kind of bad, and I didn't have a script. It was just all that came up in my head. So yeah, it wasn't a good. It was all right. It wasn't somewhat a good time, but I mean, it was kind of cringy.
I think she might be referring more to like the like kind of like the prop design, if you were to do anything with, like you mentioned, freelance, like freelance for like a film or something like that. Like how were you when you decided like you wanted to take the direction of going into like entertainment and creating props?
Um, hmm. Freelance didn't come into my mind just until somebody mentioned it a while ago. I'm still trying to figure out how to actually make my account as like a business type thing, so that way I can, port or just like deliver some stuff or do like commissions for people if they want me to like make armor for them or make props for them and stuff like that. That has not happened just yet. I'm still learning how to do all those and still waiting on it for a while. Really though, I'm just trying to build my page up. So that way it gets to like a certain point where I can start doing commissions. So yeah, I'm still at that level where I'm still building my page up. So I hope that answered your question.
Looking at your work now, you could do commissions right now. I'm telling you.
I know. A lot of people ask me about that. I'm just like, wait, give me 1 second because I'm still trying to build myself up. Like I just got featured from Halo and I was like overwhelmed. And so many people DM me saying that, do you do commissions? I'm just like, hold on.
This is what I'm like. I'm just saying, like that, you've won competitions, you've already gotten those accolades. You're building those up. Do you have like actually going back to the original question that we were right before that question came in. So how are you going to evolve? What is the next evolution of Exuberant Cosplay looking like?
I'm hoping that by the time where I reach to like a certain point where I show my costume in like some sort of master category where I can try and go to BlizzardCon or Anime Expo and be in those type of contests. People will see me as this is I've been following Exuberant Cosplay for a long time, and y'all should be like definitely following him. He inspired a lot of people. He motivates a lot of people, and makes sure that his content is as much comfortable as possible. And the way I see my future of Exuberant Cosplay really is just see how everything's just gonna be like once I reach to that master type category. But I haven't like thought of an end goal from Exuberant Cosplay, honestly, because that's something that I don't want to put that out there because then that just won't motivate me as much. Because I usually just leave that alone. I just want to keep going. It's like it's really hard to like not stop right there. You know what I mean? And I really though I just want people to see me as like I've been trying to help as many people as possible. Just like making more content and make them feel comfortable with my stuff and see me in the master category. So yeah.
Nice. So how did you come up with the name Exuberant Cosplay?
Ooh, it's a good story. So Exuberant Cosplay. The word exuberant, there's actually, I don't know if you guys want to search up a definition, but is the number one word they came up with is excitement and most likely just energetic wise. And I was thinking, like, you know what? This might be a really good name to put as my page. So originally, Exuberant came from a character from Halo 5. Her name is Exuberant Witness. She's an Oracle and everything that tried to take over Cortana. Spoilers. But Exuberant Witness, that's where it came from. And I used that word because, she's also energetic. She's also excited to like almost anything. And that's just kind of like a part of me as well. So I'll use that and put it as my page for my costume. Our original name for Exuberant Cosplay is actually not Exuberant Cosplay. It was supposed to be Exuberant Workshop. Mainly because Exuberant Workshop was just me, making foam and all that stuff and just showing my costume. And like I said, cosplay wasn't really like one of my thought process as part of it until people started coming up to me with my costume, and it says like, "Oh, you are a really good cosplayer," and all that stuff. And I really like your armor. And I was like, "Is that really what people see? Is like I just see me as a cosplayer?" And really, though, I just make costumes and just like to show it off. So. I had to change my name, unfortunately, to Exuberant Cosplay instead, because apparently that's like the most recognizable thing that people will see. So instead of just Exuberant Workshop
Exuberant.
is kind of yeah,
Magnificent.
mm-hmm.
I think about it kind of goes with when you have like some of the more like medieval type of cosplays. To me, you think of something like that's exuberant.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. Even though it's not French, for some reason, I want to throw like a French accent at the end of it for some reason. I don't know why. It's just, I think it would be funny. I don't know. But in any case, looks like we had another question come through from Chris Catlin again. What's your favorite Dead Space? Would you like to see a part 4 or a remaster?
What's my favorite Dead Space? As in, like, the game? My favorite Dead Space game is Dead Space 1. It's going to probably going to surprise a lot of people. The very first Dead Space game was actually one of my favorites. I don't know why, but mainly the reason why is because it was Game with Gold on the Xbox One, and I downloaded that real quick, and I wanted to try it out. I never played Dead Space. Fun fact about me, I never played any third-person shooters ever. Never at all. I never played any third-person shooters until Dead Space came to my mind. And yeah, Dead Space 1 was like one of my favorite games, and I really liked that. Until that, my favorite Dead Space suit, my favorite Dead Space armor is the security suit, which is this boy right here. Yeah, it's the security helmet and all that stuff. And what would I like to see for Part 4 remaster? Honestly, I wish Visual Game would come right back. I don't even think that it would. I don't know. I really, really want Dead Space 4, but the way they ended that with Dead Space 3 kind of made a lot of people mad. It made me mad too. And I knew that it would have to be like the end for them. And, it really sucks that they had to go away. It's mainly because of EA. Nobody don't like EA that much.
I don't know if EA, like one of the most hated gaming companies.
Yeah, unfortunately. EA bought off Madden, which that made a lot of people mad now. So, but yeah. Dead Space, I wish Dead Space 4 would have come out, but I would like a Dead Space remaster. I'm not gonna lie. I would like to see really high graphics, high enhanced quality and all that stuff. Or not just remake the game. Do that. Remake the very first Dead Space, and probably maybe a lot of people will like it, and eventually make Dead Space 4 if people like Dead Space 1 again. So yeah. yeah, I really like the Dead Space very first third person shooter. So
Nice. Now, I don't know Dead Space that well, so when you're saying that, all I know is that when you're saying some of the things about people not liking, of course, like how the last one went. I mean, I've heard about that, um, and of course, so I'm more of the Monster Hunter guy, even though,
mm-hmm.
funny enough, some people will criticize me about that because I never finished the last Monster Hunter game, and they know who they are if they're listening. But in any case, um, I want to ask you about like cosplay groups. Like, are you a part of any like cosplay groups or anything like that within like the community? And how do you feel as though what value do you feel like cosplay groups add?
um, I the only cosplay group I'm in is the Mexican cosplay. I'm in all sort of cosplay groups, especially like specifically armor cosplay groups. Um, they're definitely well known, but really though, I just been trying to uh, keep it at a consistent pace. I don't want people to think it's like a spam or anything, but I like sharing my work out to the people. I really do, because I really want people to show that this I took a lot of time into it, and and I'm not expecting people to like come and just like see it or like comment or anything. But no, I just want to put my stuff out there. Something that I appreciate the most. I really don't care what people think. I don't care if it's like you don't want to like it or anything, or like you just look at it and just walk away. I really don't care about that. Really though, I just like put myself out there because like
Nice.
it's fun. I don't know. It's weird.
No, it should be. I agree.
Yeah.
100%. That's what cosplay's about. Is you know, obviously being able to show your love for, a lot of the franchises you like, and if you're just like dressing up,
Hmm.
it's an expression, it's an art form.
Hmm.
Um, and I think sometimes cosplay doesn't get the what's the right word for it? The right or the doesn't get enough acknowledgement, for being a part of the community. Sometimes it's treated as lesser than, as
Hmm.
a part of the community, rather than being just as much a part of it as any other piece of it. Um, but in any case, do you feel as though, like in any way, being, someone who's also a black cosplayer, like, do you feel as though you ever feel challenged, or at any point have you ever felt challenged as a black cosplayer within the community?
Yeah. So I did have some challenges as a black cosplayer. Um, Mainly, it has something to do with acknowledging with the audience, because it's not just me that's like getting some racist comments from people, but I just been trying to delete them because I don't like negativities on my pages and everything. I feel like that's inappropriate, that's disrespectful, and that person would get immediately banned or get immediately reported. I don't want my fans to go after them or anything because like that's just very
Wait, so is this
inappropriate.
like recent comments?
No, no. So this was a while ago. I had a comment from one post where I was Detroit Become Human, um,
Mm-hmm.
and somebody made a comment saying that if Detroit Become Human wasn't black, then I should not be in that game. I was like, where did you get this comment from? Like, okay,
I
like,
swear,
no,
people.
you can't put that on my page. Like, you can't put any negativities on my page. Can't do that, man. And I noticed that I wasn't receiving as much recognition because I'm a person of color, or I'm black as well. But I've noticed that I wasn't receiving as much recognition at that time because sometimes people will not believe me that I make costumes and I make armor costumes, all that stuff. and they have the tendency to make me bring out proof that I actually make these type of costumes.
Oh, like
Right.
almost like, oh, like you ain't make that. Ain't no way you could have made
Right.
that.
Exactly. I had to show them that, and once I show them that, they will get like this attitude where it's just like, oh, he's just being arrogant. Like he thinks he make all that. He didn't make all that. I don't know what you talking about. I was like, I don't know what else to say to you guys. I made the costumes. Like I have the template right there. I made all of this, and
Like, what people you've been paying?
And I even did a time lapse of myself making it. So I don't know what else to say to you guys. So but yeah, I've experienced some challenges, and in the cosplay contest too. I've noticed that there were some rigged contests where not a lot of Black people didn't win a cosplay competition, and I noticed this, and I've seen this every single year. There's not a single Black person won in a cosplay contest. And it's only like one Black person that won a cosplay contest. And she's a female too. She made a Xenoblade Chronicles armor, and she won second place hall, I think, cosplay hall, something like that. And that's all I've seen. Everybody else was just like, just outside of like, their race and everything, or non-racial and all that stuff. And it's just like, where's the balance here? And why are y'all voting for? Why y'all not voting for a person of color as much? Why y'all only voting for somebody that's like outside of color? And that's just like, that's kind of unfair for that. That's very challenging for me, and that's very challenging for other Black cosplayers out there that also want to compete as well. So yeah, I've experienced those, and it really sucks.
Do you feel like people are challenging that enough?
Is that what?
Do you feel as though people are are people challenging within the cosplay community, that type of response enough? As far as like people disproportionately promoting, or I guess just say winning, or choosing only people of people of non-color as, like, let's say, the winners of competitions or whatever. Is there enough pushback, do you feel, at least in recent days, about that?
Not that I experienced. I haven't received any pushback from that.
Not from you, but like as far as the judges, like people.
Oh, okay. I know what you mean. Like if there was like some comments about them.
More of a call to action. Kind of what.
Right.
Is there more of a call to action for that?
I haven't seen any of those actually. That's what's weird about it. I actually did an action on there where last year I felt like it was rigged. It's not because of person of color, but it's more likely to be rigged because it can either just be a person with armor or a person with cloth that knows how to like do like fabrics and everything. And it's always the fabric winning most of the contests. I've never seen an armor cosplayer win at all. It's only, like I said, it's funny though, because there's only one armor cosplayer that won, and she's Black. She's the only person that won. And that's what got me a little bit irritated from that. Like, why is it they're only cloth cosplayer winning, but not armor cosplayers? Like, where's the balance here? Where's like different types of categories? There should be separate categories actually, where like one category is armor cosplayer and the other one should be cloth cosplayers. I don't know why they didn't make that yet. And I've been
waiting on you.
Yeah, I've been seeing the same judges every year, the exact same judges. I know their face and I know their names and everything. And it's crazy that they're still picking the same people. I actually seen this one person has been competing in Youmacon every year, and she's been winning trophies. She's been winning Best of Show because of her cloth cosplay. And I was like, "Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I seen her every year, and y'all still voting for that."
Is it the
Like,
same outfit or?
yeah, it's not the same outfit. It's yeah. I actually watch her stuff. She actually been making really good costumes. I'm not gonna lie, but seeing to the point that she competed every year and she's just been winning trophies all the time, I feel as though it's not fair for other people. Um, I did make a rant about this on social media where it was only like cloth cosplayers that always winning and not armor cosplayers. And I didn't want to be like anybody's enemy. I just want to show them this is what I see. And they seem to not get the point of what's going on in the cosplay contest. Maybe in general, they're just not getting it. And it just really sucks though because there are people that are looking forward to like armor cosplay and then want to show their workout and didn't receive anything. So it's just not it's not fair. So that's why I'm saying like it should be like a separate category. Or it should be like a balance between those two. Yeah, I know we got a little bit off topic between from yeah black cosplayer, but no, that's literally what I just seen, and it just sucks that one of my armor cosplay friends didn't receive any awards or trophies or anything just because a cosplayer just won. So yeah,
I didn't even know there was like that kind of feud within cosplay between like armored and cloth, but I can believe that though, because I mean, when you mention it, it's like it's one of those things. Like, yeah, that is very true. You usually see more cloth, or I would say, you don't really see armor cosplay wins, even though a lot of times, and this is nothing against anybody who's wearing cloth, but a lot of times the armored cosplayers are the ones that look the dopest. Like I mean, I remember, and I'm not sure if you remember this, but I remember one year at YomaCon they had what was it? Like a Mecha, like Charizard. I don't know. I think it was Mecha Venusaur and Mecha Blastoise. Yeah, like, and I'm like, those look dope. I'm like, those better than I want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, she didn't win.
I'm thinking like all that work that went into that. I'm sorry, and I'm not trying to. And I'm not trying to like let me put this out there in case anybody's watching and maybe went to YomaCon that year. Like I'm not trying to like shame anybody's like outfits or anything like that. But I'm like, dang it, man. I'm like that. That to me looked like the person put a lot of thought into that. A lot of inspiration.
Right.
So.
I mean, same thing with the cloth cosplayers too. They put a lot of thought in, work and effort with their stuff, and I see that almost all the time. And I know it's hard. I know it is. I can see it. And same thing with armor cosplayers too. We also have to work pretty hard with our stuff too. We even had to like measure. I mean, I can't say measure because cloth also do that too. But no, we even had to like make sure that is everything is just like proportional, everything is wearable, everything is just like it can be movable, like it has mobility. That's number one problem for being an armor cosplayer is mobility. Yes. So if you're immobilized and you seem to think that one of your parts is breaking off and there's nobody around you that can help you for that, you're pretty much SOL from that. You're pretty much SOL unless you got a really good partner that can help you out with all of this. So yeah, I had this happen with my first costume where like everything was like prepared, making sure that everything is mobile. That's at the time where I didn't have a partner with me. I was just by myself because I thought everything was handled by myself. I was really stubborn. So I thought everything was just like going to stay on for a long time until my skirt came off. And I had no way to pick that up. I had no way whatsoever to pick that up because I felt like I was stuck. So that became a huge problem, and I had no way to like get somebody else to help me. It kind of sucks too that nobody can help me to like put the parts back on again. So yeah, I had to get a partner to help me out with this. As in partner, my mother's been helping me out all the time. So Yeah.
Nice. You know, I could have swore I knew that. Like, you know, I think I've seen her at the cons or whatnot.
You'll see her
helping
almost every single year. I promise you. Every time I go to a con, she'll be there.
Nice.
And
That's respect.
So has she helped you as far as making some of the outfits like from scratch or?
no. So she helped me with the just putting them on, pretty much. Most of the outfit I just made. I made all the outfits by myself. I made all of them just all handmade by myself. Yeah.
Nice.
And yeah, pretty much my mom just helped me put them on. That's all.
Yeah.
All
It's
right.
like Jasmine Contreras comedy here. I'll always help you if I can bend over.
Thank you, Jasmine. I actually know her. Jasmine's awesome. She's a sweetheart. She does some really cool like armor costumes as well. I knew her last year in was Motor City Comic Con. It might be Motor City Comic Con, and seeing her outfit, oh gosh, it's awesome. It was amazing. I felt intimidated when she showed off her LEDs and everything. Yeah.
Oh my
All
goodness.
We both won honorable mention though. We were both happy from that.
Okay.
Nice. At Motor City Comic Con?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's like I feel like the biggest con in Michigan. You know, I think, isn't it? It's debatable though. Like I mean, because I think technically, YomaCon to me is my favorite. I'm gonna be real with you. You know, but no, I'm
YomaCon
biased
has
for you.
to be the biggest though. It has to be because it has 2 buildings.
But I think in numbers, I think they have more guests at Motor City Comic Con. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
You know.
I know what you mean. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, YomaCon, they'll beat them one day. I'm hoping. You know, no offense to any other cons out there. If we have some con cheers watching, like, I see how it is. It's like, hey, what can I? You know.
Well, you know the stakes are high. Anyway,
The stakes are high.
yeah, we're a couple minutes after the hour mark. If you want to close this out, Irvin.
Okay, yeah. A few last things to say before we get to the last question. You know, I do want to say, you know, if you're watching this, go ahead and go over to the Shining Otaku channel. Make sure you subscribe for upcoming interviews. You know, we've got a lot more coming up. But let's get to this this final question here. Now, typically, I would always make the final question, what is your end game? But clearly, you've already stated that you don't really like to have an end game. Mm-hmm. So, what I would like to say is, what is your goal for next year? Considering this year seems like it's erupted into an apocalyptic fire, you know, like something off of freaking Monster Hunter. So,
so if you guys like spoilers, if you don't like spoilers, that's cool. Next year, I am going to be working on 2 more costumes for next year. Number 1 is Metroid Prime. I'm going to be working on that one. And this character is from Metro Prime Hunter. It's either him or her. I don't identify the gender at all, but it's the character called Weevil. He's like like an agent with armor and all that stuff. He has like a sword coming out of his or blade. I mean, he has a blade coming out of his arm, and that's gonna be my next focus for next year. And the second one for next year, I don't know about that. That's probably going to be fans' choice. If they want me to make something that's based off of it, and I'll try to see how many votes can come out of it, and I'll definitely do it. I'll definitely do that one. But yeah, Metro Prime for next year, and I honestly cannot wait for that. I'm like really excited. So yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm. Before Metro Prime, I'm working on Velcana. Velcana from Monster Hunter World. That is a work in progress right now. And literally right after I was done with that space, I just got started with Velcana. And that's something that most of my Monster Hunter friends are definitely looking forward to. And it's probably going to be one of the toughest armor I will ever make. one of the most repetitive, the most outrageous, the most you can just say anything. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a hard costume.
Yeah, I can imagine. With some of the like all of them, some cosplay, like some of the props look really complex. I mean, all of them look complex to me, but I would say some look more complex than others. So I can believe that. But we had a comment here from Lisa Mia Webster. Hey, Exuberant.
Hey, Lisa.
Fist bump.
How you doing?
She said, "You can do it. I believe in you."
I'll definitely try. I'll definitely try.
So where can people find you? What's your handles? Is it just Facebook?
I'm sorry.
Your handles. What are your?
Where can we find you? If everybody's trying to look for you, look for your latest work.
Yeah. So you can find me on my page. It's Exuberant Cosplay, Exuberant Space Cosplay, and pretty much most of my content is on there. I post my content every 2 days. I try to be consistent from them. Sometimes I will lag on my contents. Either it has to do with my family, or I either want to take a break, or most of those type of stuff. And that's pretty much where I post most of my stuff at.
You're on Instagram as well, right?
I'm sorry?
You're on Instagram as well, right?
Yes. I post my Instagram every 2 days on there as well. That's probably going to be my most content on there, but Facebook is going to be the most, I guess, user friendly, like post user friendly type of stuff. So yeah,
nice. You're doing tutorials too now, right? Like I could have swore I seen you.
Yeah, I did one tutorial. That was actually my very first tutorial I done, which was the pouch. And I asked people if they want me to do more tutorials in the future, and I got some people that want me to do it. The number one tutorial that people want me to do is how did I make the helmet? Because I noticed that's like the hardest part for people if they want to start making costumes. They want to know how I make the helmets. And that's something that's going to be later in the future. I'll definitely make a tutorial about that.
Okay, nice. I'm glad. Yeah. We definitely need that so we don't have people walking around with LEDs in their head and flames going off and everything because they didn't hook it up right.
Yeah, don't ask me a tutorial about LEDs because I'm still learning about that.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. But everybody, make sure you follow Exuberant Cosplay before you go. Not next week, but the week after, we are going to be interviewing, even though we were supposed to interview them originally a few weeks ago, but we had a few things we needed to switch around. Comfort and Adam, they're actually frequent guests of Youmacon as well. They've done a book on how to, I'm forgetting almost the exact title for it, but basically how to self-publish your comics. So if you're somebody who wants to self-publish comics, they have a whole book on that that's been in stores all around the country. They also have created the Uniques and several other webcomics successful series. So you'll want to make sure that you stay around for that interview 2 weeks from today. And this week, this Thursday, we actually are going to be uploading a video called Too Long and You Know It. We're going to be talking about some of the longest running manga series like Detective Conan. We all know One Piece, it's been going on for 8,000 years, and some other series, whether or not they've been going on too long or not. So you're going to want to check that video out. That will be on the Shining Otaku channel on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe to that. Help us meet the next goal so that we can continue to rise up together. So join the Shining Otaku on there. You can join us on Facebook as well, like the Facebook page. And if you guys have a guest that you guys want to see on the show, or if you have something that you want to see us cover, just send us a message, and of course we can look into that for you. We also will be announcing the release of the next webcomic that we have coming out too. So look out for when Callista will be turning up very, very soon.
I was trying to point out the name. He's like, yeah, definitely go follow them, you guys.
Oh, I was like, if I'm missing something,
he's right there. Yeah, just go follow them.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
I was doing something weird, my bad.
No, I got it. I got what you're saying. But anyway, guys, thank you all for watching. You know, like I said, subscribe, check out Exuberant Cosplay, follow on Instagram, Facebook, and we're gonna head on out, guys. This has been Cloud9,
And then,
and
y'all later.
Exuberant Cosplay.
all right, we'll see you later.
Yeah, take care.